Happy Easter Sunday to everybody who's not in church here. I think if I were to look back over all of the talks that I give on Easter Sunday, they'd all be the same talk. And I suspect everyone in every church in the country and the world is probably getting the same talk. And the talk is really the celebration of a miracle. And the miracle is usually understood as we live forever. That there is a redemptive potential in every human being to discover their own capacity for resurrection. That we have eternal life. And we celebrate the story of the teacher of that truth. But I want to turn that a little bit on its head for a moment. Because it really does cut to what is often the problem for many people, which is living an entire life for some future event. Your resurrection, your finding eternal rest. And so we tend to live focusing on something other than what's here. And looking for a reward, if you will, or fearing a punishment for failing to live appropriately. And we miss the life that we were living. The eternal future that you're looking for is really right here. It's really the eternal present. It will never be anything but the eternal present. Even when it arrives, whatever that may be, it will still be this. It won't be this cloaked in exactly the same garb. You may not have this body. The idea of bodily resurrection is very appealing to people, I think, until they get old. The idea of being back here in this body is not all that attractive. I think we'd all buy eternal life if we could be 16 and come into the life and live a permanent life of 16-year-olds, but there's no way the mind can grasp what that would mean. What we're really looking for is some sense of profound health and well-being, strength of being, youthful vitality, youthful hope, a sense of the joy of existence. I think we'd all buy into that. And in some sense, much of the teaching of Easter Sunday is the arriving at a place of that kind of consciousness, where we understand and are able to experience the return to this state that most of us in bodily form lose along the way, this absolute sense of strength, comfort, vitality, youth. If eternal life is really what it says, life, we experience and want to experience life in its most vibrant form. So, here's the opportunity. Experience it now. Don't wait for some future to present that to you. Everything you're looking for is right in this moment. Now, if you look at this moment and you are my age, your body's not what it used to be, your mind's not what it used to be. All of these faculties that we start to lose as we get older make us think that somehow or another this moment isn't so perfect. You know, I've got a sore throat, you know, all this stuff that goes on in life. You go, how could I accept this moment as being the moment that I want to open to? Somehow the bright moment, it's down the road. But if you really, really can try to let go of any expectation in the future, and to let go of all of the story you've told yourself about who you are, and truly enter this moment, even with your body as it is, even with your mind not being in its perfect state. If you can do that, and just sit here long enough and still enough, something happens here and now. Something happens right in this very place. And what it is a kind of there it is. It's never not there. It's eternal life. Right here. It is ageless, bodiless, undefinable presence. And it sits at the core of every one of us. It is always there. It is always attainable. It is always beating its way into our consciousness in one way or another. It's there. It's you. It's your essential being. It's the timeless truth of who you are. That's what you are looking for. It's not in the future. It's not in the past. It's right here. And all you have to do is stop long enough, get out of the things pulling you away, and bring yourself back to this, and you will know it. It's right here. It's what you feel when you go to sleep at night. It's what you feel in that last second of, yes. But imagine that instead of going into unconsciousness, going into awakening. Imagine giving yourself over to the beauty of emptiness, nothingness, stillness, and discovering everything you ever wanted, everything you could be, would be, will be, is right there. Right there. It explains it all. It has all the truth you need. It has all the completion you need. It has all the love you've ever wanted. And it's already in place. You don't need to be resurrected for it. You don't have to come back for it. You don't have to live waiting to attain it. Go on and take this trip. Sit still. Enter your heart, if you will. Relax, let go, and practice this return to self. And that's what meditation is. It's what we're all doing. We're practicing the return to this space awake. We all know how to do it when we go to bed at night, most of us, some don't even do that well, but mostly we know how to say, I surrender. And you hand yourself over to this oblivion, truly, every night. And usually quite happily. It's like, whew. Imagine doing that right now. And how you'll feel. How do you feel when you just let yourself be? Where it takes over, and the it is you. And it just is. And it feels like what that feels like when you return to yourself. It's really, truly that which we're seeking. Everyone is seeking it. And there is a lot of stuff that stands in the way. Some of that is your mind saying it's not possible, your mind wanting it through some kind of external achievement. If I only, win one more Oscar, I will find it, or the first one. Or if you marry the right person, or if you don't get old, or whatever it is, whatever your fantasy is that it will bring you in life. I can only tell you, it may bring you a reflection of it. But the thing that it is truly is this thing here. A nap is not a sleep. It's a taste of sleep. It's a nice taste. But the real thing is 8 hours worth of something restorative, renewing, reviving, vibrant, essential, and allowing you to come back to your manifested life with a new vitality. That's what this does. It allows you to return, if you will, to the daily practice of being in the world. On the other hand, it doesn't even have to be a return. It can be a constant flow. Here and there, they are no different. When you really understand that this is that it's all one thing. Sleep, awake, dream, function in the world. All of that is one totality. It's one totality. And you are either functioning in that with some grace and ease, or you're struggling like mad. And I can only tell you, if you are willing to do this work, practice finding your own deeper self. If you go inside and you let go, you surrender. If you ask for help to surrender, you will find this space. You will find it and you will know it. And at some point, you will become so invested in it, if you will, that the rest of you falls away. So there's just that. There's just that. Expecting that space to feel special, it gets a lot of people in trouble. Because when you first go there, it's very special. After a while, going to sleep is just going to sleep. After a while, it's just what you do. Awakening is the same thing. It's not special. It's just present. Just being present. Sometimes it will feel glorious and beautiful and sweet and delicious. Other times it will feel like, I got to do the taxes. That's what it feels like. And you just have to go through that. Sometimes it feels like changing the diaper. Sometimes it feels like, I got to cook dinner. It's just, that's how it feels. But once you start to surrender to it, something happens. If, chopping the carrots finds a rhythm that actually feels good. Changing the diaper opens your heart to the love of the baby whose diaper you're changing. Doing the taxes, I can't say it ever gets really sweet for people, but on the other hand, there is a sense of you pay your dues to the world. It gives and you give. There's a real exchange. Manifestation, the world of manifestation, is is exactly as it has to be. It's exactly as it must be. When you find this place within yourself of deep presence and acceptance and surrender, you will live your life differently. It won't change the nature of life, but it'll change your reaction to life. You will find that you can live life chopping those carrots and going, wow. Changing that diaper, wow. It just changes it. And it allows you to live this life that most of us think of as, oh God, I got to get up today. And with this idea of, oh my God, today, this moment, this shower, this brushing my teeth. You really begin to live it. Not that there's a thing in you that goes, oh, this is miraculous, but you know it is miraculous. You don't have to celebrate every moment, but you do get a sense that if you could or wanted to, you could do it. Every single moment is worth celebrating. It really is. And all you have to do is tune into that and you'll do it. You take a scoop of ice cream and you go, oh my God. It's like when you're 2 years old or whatever, you get your first ice cream or your first birthday cake. It's like, I didn't know this happened. Wow. It's really thrilling. It's thrilling. Life has a thrill about it. And we miss out on that as we get older. But it all starts to come back when you find this. When you find the eternal in the present. Then it all comes back whenever you want it to, or whenever you need it to, or whenever it needs to remind you. And you live a life of a conscious human being. A remarkable, simple life. And you stop looking for this in all the wrong places. Because most people are doing that all the time. They're looking everywhere that they won't find it. And if they do find it, they'll find it for 2 seconds and something will take it away. I always say, you buy your new whatever it is, Ferrari, and it's like, oh, I found it. I finally found what I was looking for. And then someone goes, and there it goes. There's your happiness, guys. It's all over. Or someone keys your car. It's like, changes your life. It's a horrible thing. I almost think we should key our car the minute we buy it. So you just get rid of all of that thing that's going to happen and just buy the fact that everything you have will deteriorate. Everything you have will fall away except this. Can I prove that? No. Can I sit here and absolutely guarantee you that's the truth? No. Does believing in the teachings of Christ help you to believe that? Yes. Or Buddha? Yes. All the teachers help you to believe it. But I'll tell you, the thing that comes closest to helping you believe it is experiencing it. Knowing the truth of this moment is the most you're going to get. And if this moment can be that, if this moment can feel so infused with so much, I hate all these words, but presence, vibrancy, reality, if it can feel that way now, that's enough. That's enough. You actually can taste that now. What more do you need to know? You can worry about whether you'll taste it down the road. You can worry about whether you'll experience it after you die. You can do all of this stuff if you want, but it sure changes the character of this moment. It sure wastes this moment. And we all do it. Everybody, I come from a family of Ashkenazi Jews. All we do is worry. You worry from the time you wake up to the time you go to bed about what will happen next. I see it in my system. I actually see it happening, and I have to go. I don't have to really do anything at this point. You go there, and you find this place that kind of, it doesn't annihilate that thing from happening. It just diffuses it to some degree. You look at your life and you feel compassion for your DNA. You can't fight your DNA. You are who you are. You're going to live your life how you live your life. But, trust me, everything that inhibits you, obstructs you, makes you unhappy in life, that causes you to suffer, if you go into this place inside you and realize that it's everywhere, even outside you, life will be different. The circumstances won't be different. You will be different. So, that's my Easter homily. Are there any questions today? No. Thank you guys. Lots of love.